Hey everybody, Mr. Murphy here with another video lesson for you. This one is going to be on volume of spheres. So first of all, I'm guessing you all probably have a good working idea of what a sphere is, but just in case, I grabbed one of my daughter's toys to show you. Here's a sphere. It's kind of hard to see the dimensions of it on the video, but there you go. Basically just from any center point, all the points on the surface of the sphere are the same distance from the center. And that distance, just like on a circle, is called the radius. And if we want to know how much space a sphere takes up, how much is its volume, here is the formula that we get to use. And you're not going to love this one, but it's okay. Its volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. Cubed because we're a three-dimensional shape, not a two-dimensional shape. Another way of thinking about that formula is volume equals 4 times pi r cubed on top over 3. If you do the math in either way, you will get the same result. So if it's easier for you to think of it in this second way, go for it. If it's easier for you to think of it as this 4/3, go for it. I kind of personally like this one, so you'll see me use either one to make life easy. I'll make sure to do both during this video. Cool. So, for the first one, let's find the volume. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and set everything up. I already know my radius is 6 yards, so that is really the only value you need to know for your sphere. So let's set up the 4/3 pi times 6 cubed. Cool. Now, bring this stuff down. 4/3 pi. Now remember, when we say 6 cubed, what that really means is 6 times 6 times 6, right? And when you multiply all that together, you get 216. So it's going to be 4/3 pi times 216. Okay. Now, dealing with this 4/3, what I typically do is I will divide by 3 if I can, and then multiply by 4. So notice I'm not even worrying about the pi value yet. I'm just worried about taking this 4/3 and using it to multiply this 216. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to rearrange it. It's 4 times 216 over 3 times pi. And I always save pi for last. Hopefully you've noticed that by now. Okay, now, I can divide 216 by 3 evenly. That gives me 72. So 4 times 72 times pi. Cool. Then I can multiply the 72 by 4. That's going to give me 4 times 72. That's going to give me 288 pi. Cool. Then if I set that to 3.14, that's going to give me 904. Can we see that? Yeah. 904.32 yards cubed, or cubic yards. So this is an acceptable answer for volume. So is this. Cool. Right, and again, this in particular, volume of spheres, is really an important place where you might consider leaving things in terms of pi, because of the fact that this math that we did, dividing by 3, multiplying by 4, that wouldn't have produced such nice numbers if we had already multiplied by pi. So it does make it a little easier if you hold off on that until the end. Cool. Now, at this step, I mentioned that you can either divide by 3 first or multiply by 4 first. So just real quick, I'm going to show that you can do it either way and get the same result. So if I had 4 times 216 over 3 times pi, I also could have done this. 4 times 216 gives me 864. over 3 times pi. And if I do 864 divided by 3, oh, look at that. I get 288, which is the same thing we got over here. So just to show that with this 4/3, 4/3 means when you multiply by 4/3, you're multiplying by the 4, dividing by the 3. Doesn't matter which step of that happens first, but those are the two steps that happen when you multiply by 4/3. Whichever is easiest for you, that's the one I want you to do. Okay? Alright, and that is how you find the volume of a sphere. Now, a couple of questions on the volume of sphere assignments might ask you to work backwards. So something like this. Question number 2. A sphere has a volume of 972 pi centimeters cubed. How many centimeters is its radius? Okay, so this time we will use this version of the volume formula to help us answer this question. 4 pi r cubed over 3. Alright. Now, we want to know the radius, which last time that was the value that we had. This time, they're giving us the volume and asking us to work backwards. So let's do exactly that. Let's plug in the volume over on this side. Okay. Pi r cubed over 3. Okay. Alright, and now the formula that we have, since we're solving for that variable r, basically just becomes an algebra problem. So we need to cancel out everything except for r on that side, and then that will change the value that we have over on this other side until it's the value that we want. Cool. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to divide, or sorry, not divide by 3, but if you look over here, the radius, along with these other things, is being divided by 3. So I can cancel that out, multiply by 3 on both sides. Over here, don't worry about pi, just do 972 times 3. That's 2,916 pi. Set that equal to 4 pi r cubed. Now notice, pi is on both sides. So if I divide by pi, it's just going to cancel that out both times, which makes life pretty easy. So now you have 2,916 equals 4 r cubed. Divide by 4. That gives me 729 equals radius cubed. Let me move the paper. Hi, sweetie. So now, the last step is something that we haven't done all year, but I want to show you something new. It's called, if I need to cancel out this r cubed just to get radius, I do something called the cube root. And on your calculator, that looks like the square root with a little 3 next to it. When you do that, and you're going to need a calculator for this, I can tell you that right now. Doing cube roots in your head, not easy. Anyway, so the cube root is basically the opposite of cubing a number. It asks what number times itself 3 times, gives you this number. In this case, when I take the cube root of 729, the answer that I get should be 9. So how long is the radius of our sphere? 9 centimeters. Okay, cool. So if you need to know the radius of a sphere, there's no way around it. You're going to have to use this cube root. Luckily, any good calculator, pretty much scientific or above, comes with that function. If you're using the desktop calculator on a computer, it has that as well. Hope this video helped you guys out, and this is our last assignment for the year, so enjoy.